Hey, everybody. Welcome to our live. I am Heather. We come to you live each and every day, Monday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So this is a way for you to experience Luminous, hear how to do it, see how to do it, see it being done. You can ask questions as we go along. It doesn't have to be about what we're doing at the time. It could be any questions that you may have. Um, so it's kind of a free for all. So you can ask those questions. So we're here and we are going. I wanted to kind of bring it back, because we know, several of you may be new. And so I want to go over the three main things with airbrushing. Hello, Veronica. There are three things that you need to know about airbrushing, because what happens is a lot of people get this home, they're excited, they saw the infomercial, they see all the miracle stuff that will happen, and they're excited, but then they put it on like traditional makeup. So we know that how it goes on with the airbrush is different, but how it's applied is also different. So it's going to react and look at, it's going to react and go on your skin in a different way than traditional makeup. Hey, Andrea, good to see you. So I had to stop for extra coffee today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to unplug. I'm nervous about unplugging it. So I have my Breeze. And the one thing you do want to remember, because with traditional makeup, you either smear it on or, you see it immediately. Hey, Millie, how are you? And then you blend it in, right? You're like, do. You have to blend it in. Actually, I'll do traditional concealer so we can kind of talk about both. If I brought my concealer. All right. So with traditional, hey Angela, how are you? So with traditional makeup, if I went in and I put on a concealer, I already did, my eyes are real, my lids are discolored, they're red. So I've already put concealer on my lid. But if I do some underneath my eye, like so, you're having to rub it in. And just like you can kind of see a demarcation line right there, and you have to blend it, right? We blend. We're, like touching our skin. My weekend was great. I'm doing well. So I'm just blending that in so you don't see any demarcation lines. When you're using traditional makeup, you see that opaqueness, or you see that line, and then you blend it out. Whereas airbrush makeup, and applying it either with the Breeze or a stylus, it blends as you apply it. Okay, so that's why it does. That's another reason it cuts your time in half, because it is going to blend as you apply it. What's hard for people to understand is that it does that. You do not want to see demarcation lines. You don't want that feeling of that wet feeling. And so that sometimes is hard to get over. So when you first apply it, like if you're a newbie and for the first time and you're spraying it and you're like, it looks splotchy or wet, or it's dripping down, like all of those, that's you're spraying too hard. Three things. Let's go over it real quick. First thing, you want to make sure you are 4 fingers away from your face. You don't want to be too close, and you don't want to be out here. Okay. You're not walking into the mist, and it's not painting a fence. So we don't have to go over every inch of our face like we do with traditional makeup. Okay. So at first, if you want to practice, you can just turn on the air and feel that air around your face, and then watch yourself in the mirror. Just move it around. It's not a race. You don't have to hurry, but we're just going to move that around and check to make sure you're that 4 finger widths away from your face. That will become second nature to you, okay? I can hold anything in my hand and I know that 4 fingers width away from my face. So it will become second nature. So just keep doing, feel that air, because listen to this, guys. This is going to blow you away. Ready? The air is your brush. Airbrush. The air is your brush. So wherever you feel the air is where the makeup is going. Okay? So just do, feeling that air going around. Because as soon as if you're new, oh, Angela, that's good. Angela's like, sometimes I close my eyes and go by the feel. And you can do that. I think one live a long time ago, I covered the screen and did my makeup without looking. Now I've been airbrushing for about 25 years. So I was able to do that. Maybe you're able to do that. But yes, that in that concept, yes, you we want to open our eyes so we can see what's happening. But yes, you do go by feel. I can also go by hearing, because you want to very lightly pull down on this trigger. If you put water in here and start pulling down on that trigger, when I'm barely pulling down and then when I pull down all the way, there is a different sound. If we were all in a room and everybody was airbrushing and I closed my eyes, I could tell you who was out of makeup and who was pulling down too hard on that trigger. Those are the things that you'll start listening for too. So you are very lightly going to pull down on that trigger. So once you get that distance, you can put water in here and then airbrush water on your face. The water does weigh heavier than the makeup, so your face is going to be wet. We just don't want it running down your face. Okay? So that's another thing, is very lightly pulling down on that trigger. Hold on one second. I'll have to call you back. I'm on a live. That was one of my friends I've been trying to get a hold of, and I had to give her a hard time. All right. So it's very lightly that you're going to pull back. This is where it becomes different than traditional makeup. We do not want to feel it go on. We do not want the makeup to feel wet or sticky. Now, the great thing about it is every time you have this in your hand, you're learning you're going to learn something. You're going to learn a better way to put it on, or you're going to get better at it every single time. So if at first you're like, ooh, it does feel a little sticky, just take your finger off the trigger and use the air to dry it. It'll be okay. All right. But just know that you're going to get to that point. You're going to get to the point where you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to feel wet or sticky. A lot of times, and I'll do it today too, when I airbrush, I can airbrush my foundation and then I can get a tissue and then show you that nothing's on it, because it is that light. Okay. So we're barely we're 4 finger widths away. We're barely pulling down on this trigger, and we're going to keep our stylus moving. Start the movement before pulling down on the trigger, because a lot of people, and maybe you've done this, where you just sit there and you're pulling down on the trigger because you're waiting for it to come out, but then you get a mark. Well, we don't want a mark. So we're going to keep it moving and then pull down on that trigger. If you're this distance away, it's going to be a perfect application, because, and this is when you're practicing, if I'm this distance away, I can feel the air here to here. And so think of that as your brush. That's where all the makeup's going to go. The closer you get, the more precise it is. So when we do blush or when we're covering certain spots, you can come in a little bit closer, maybe 3 finger widths away, but you'll never be like right here. Okay? Makes sense? Clear as mud? Just kidding. All right. So now I'm going to shake this up. So everybody tell me, how long have you guys been airbrushing? Tell me how long. I'm going to wait. All right. So because I did traditional concealer first, I don't need to do anything underneath my eyes because I did traditional concealer. And that's the other great thing about Luminess is it's not all or nothing. You don't have to do everything airbrush. You can just do your foundation. You can just do foundation and blush. You can do you can kind of pick and choose what you want. You'll want the foundation just because the foundation does look amazing, lasts for so long, looks like your natural skin. It's going to make you look younger. And so you'll definitely want the foundation, but you can start adding things later. I am going to do the blush. A lot of 5 years. I love it. Awesome. Now I'm going to add our blush in here. Now our blush is very high pigmented, meaning a little bit goes a long way. You will only want 2 drops of the blush. Now, if you're darker skin tone, you can possibly do 3. And darker, meaning if you're like a 7 to whatever on, you can probably do 3 drops of the blush, okay? But if you're 1 through 7 or 6, only 2. If you use more than 2, you're going to look crazy. And we don't want that. So I have my drops of blush in there. I have it right here. Now, because I'm applying my blush, I can come in a little bit closer. I can feel the air right on my cheek. I feel it here. I'm going to start my movement first and then pull back on the trigger. Okay. Now you can start seeing it, right? Is it what I want? No, but now I'm going to switch sides. Okay. Is that what I want? No, but I'm going to go back to the side because I'm going to give it, because I'm concentrating in a certain area. I'm going to kind of go back and forth. I'm going to give each side a little bit of time. So the blush, if you wait a second, you will see it start blooming a little bit more. Now, if you put it on and you're like, no, I could go for more. I could go more. Then add another drop. It's okay. It is all right to add another drop. Now, I also am doing the blush first because when I get to the foundation, I can blend. It's going to blend. So if I do get what I call blush happy, then it's going to kind of soften a little when I apply the foundation. With blush, how many fingers would you recommend? You're only going to use 2 drops, Angela, and you can come in probably about 3 fingers would probably be, and you can still do 4 if you're used to that. But you'll be able to feel it and right just on your cheek. And so I just come in just a little bit closer. I'm going to add a little bit more because I did use Tulip, and Tulip is our lightest blush. And then I'm going to blow the rest of that out. And then now I'm taking the Nude and Naughty. Yes, I'm going to do my eyes first. And so I do have concealer on my lid. Again, I can do traditional concealer or I can do airbrush. It's whatever you feel that day. It's whatever you prefer. It's whatever you like. It's whatever gives you the look that you want. You can change it up. So you can do concealer one day and then airbrush the next. It doesn't matter. Have fun with it. Guys, this is makeup, right? Right? This is makeup. Is it permanent? You totally screw up, wash it off. But that being said, airbrush makeup is so forgiving that very rarely do I have to start over. Like maybe one time I had to start over, but that's it. Even if I get a hot spot, I'm just going to tap it out. Y'all all know, if you've seen my my lives, you know that I love the word tap it out, because you can tap it out and then keep going if you do get a hot spot. All right. So now I'm going to take just a neutral color. And yeah, I'm playing with my finger. Why? Because I can. Just go right there, right there, right there. And then I can take, let's see, do a blending brush. And then I'm going to take a light brown and I'm going to go in my crease. Now, because my eyes are hooded, I am doing it right above that optical bone. And I'm doing it where I can blend it up. Blend it up, blend it up. So I can blend it up. And then that way it's seen when I open my eyes, right? If I just walk around like this, everybody will see it. But if I open my eyes, I want to be able to see it. And then I also want to make sure that it's blended, that it's nice and blended so I don't have any harsh lines. Now you can go stronger or you could go lighter. It's whatever you want. Can you use Final Seal Spray with traditional? Yes, Andrea, yes, you can. Andrea asked on YouTube if you can use Final Seal with traditional makeup, and you can for sure. I think I'm going to take a picture real quick. Let's see what I can do. All right, there. Just took a selfie. All right, so now I'm going to go in and what do I want to change my brush? Maybe I'll use a little, I'm still going to use a blending brush, but a little bit smaller because I'm going to go right in this outside crease and make a very small V. I'm not going to bring it over too much. And then you can see, now here's another thing. I could just put this on, like not even blend, and just put that dark color on just to get it on. And then I can go in and start blending. But again, I'm blending super light. I'm not dragging my eyeball. But I'm also, I don't want to bring it up as much, but I can go back to the lighter brown and blend that over there. And now everything's nice and blended, but then I still have that darker color in the crease, in that outside crease. Maybe I can come down a little bit more on the lid, almost the lash line. And I'm using the dark, dark brown. So I just kind of brought that over a little bit more on the lid to look a little bit smokier, but not as smoky because I didn't bring it up. Does that make sense? All right. So now I'm going to go in and with that dark brown line underneath my eyes. I always line with eyeshadow. When you have a high pigmented eyeshadow, it's so easy to line with and so good. It's a good option to line with for a couple of reasons. One, you're not pulling on your eye. I'm very self-conscious being a more mature woman of my under eye circles and bad wrinkles and crinkles. And so being able just to pop that color underneath and not pull on my eye is one thing. Having it high pigmented is another great thing because then you don't have to use a lot and it'll stay in place. Angela, how? I've tried Final Seal, but still some parts. Angela, are you using the airbrush one or the spray one in the Final Seal? At night, do you use the Bulgarian Rose Mist before you put on the other night? I actually use the Bulgarian Rose Mist at afterwards, like because I love the smell. So after I do all of that, after I do all the treatments, then I do the Bulgarian rose just because I like how it smells too. About going to a hair salon. Angela, I would say try the spray. I prefer the spray one, not the airbrush one, but the can over the airbrush one. So that's one I prefer because you can, I don't know, I just like, it smells good too. Lynn, cover your face with a towel. Oh, when you're at a salon. Hold on. I think I missed a question. Hold on. Oh, I did miss yours. Okay. Is there a way to keep your makeup intact after going to the hair salon? So Lynn's like, cover your face with a towel. A lot of times I do that. Guys, when they're washing your face, not your face, when they're washing your hair and they're going to get on like here, right? They're going to get in that area. They're rubbing it. So there's really no way of being able to not see that. And I don't care how good a makeup you have on. So like Lynn was saying, I would cover it with a towel and you hold it there. So their hands don't get, you know, when they're washing your hair, it doesn't get past a certain area. But I mean, come on. When you're going to rub on it, of course it's going to come out. And then how and when do I use the velvet veil? Millie, you'll use the velvet veil before airbrushing. You can put on a moisturizer, then use velvet veil, then go straight into airbrushing. With the velvet veil, I take the dropper out and wipe my fingers around the dropper, do this, and then put it on. I don't put the dropper on like that because I feel I use too much. And so I find that just like you can shake it up, wrap it around, and then do that. It's plenty of the velvet veil to do it. You definitely do not want to overdo it with the velvet veil. And you cannot do traditional makeup with it. It only works with airbrushing. Lynn's like, yeah, I cover my face because people are careless. Yeah, I mean, they're talking to you. They're seeing people that are walking by and they're just going to, you know, not pay attention. They're just worried about getting the color out or getting, you know, whatever they're doing. I usually, if anybody's touching my hair, like washing my hair, I'm like, I'm asleep. All right. So now let's get into airbrushing. I'm going to add my drops now. I'm low on my 3, so I'm using the 5 and I'm using Glow. And then I'm going to mix that together. Oh man, I just splattered. There. Okay. Close the lid before you back bubble. There we go. Now I'm going to start in one spot. I start my movements first. I'm 4 finger widths away. I keep it moving. I don't have to go all the way to underneath my eye because I did do traditional makeup. And so I'm just going in there to kind of blend it up to that point. Go down my nose. Here we go. Okay, that's one pass. I'm going to want more coverage, but I wanted to show you this. Okay, here's my paper towel or my tissue. Nothing. Nothing. That is how light you're spraying. I can hear it. I know something's coming out. I can feel it. I know something's coming out. So just to make sure, you don't want to see the demarcation marks, okay? Do airbrush eyeshadow? I sure will. I'll have to see what I have in the airbrush eyeshadow category. So now I'm going to go and cover those problem areas that I know I struggle with. And then I'm good. I don't have, you know, I probably used about 5 drops because once I get to my foundation, because I've already done the concealer and because I've already done the blush, that gave me coverage. So I don't have to use as much foundation because I already got coverage. Remember, with airbrush makeup, it's a touchless application. So I'm not taking anything off that I've already applied. Now I'm going to go in here and take my Cut 1 palette and an angled brush. Oh, I think it went. There we go. And I'm going to do a little bit of contouring. Mama likes some contouring. There we go. And then I'm going to take the Optics palette and give me some shine. My useful glow. Go down there. And then, where's my lip liner? Grab my lip liner. And I like to line on the outside of my, not space, but on the outside. Get some over here. Oop, that, see that. Go back. Kind of fill that in a little. And add some lipstick or lip gloss or whatever you prefer to add. And we are done. What, are we done? No, I need mascara. I don't go out of the house without mascara. 2 and 3 in rows. What color would I be in the new spray? I'm 1 and 2 in silk and 2 and 3 in rose. Veronica, I'd probably try the 2. If you're, are you talking about this one? This one? I would do the 2. All right, I'm adding, I'll do mascara on one eye. I always like to show you because it makes such a difference. I mean, look at that, guys. Mascara just opens up the eyes. It's like, hello. This looks like, okay. But wow, wow. Even if you just like mascara on the top, you can do that. Some people, some artists don't like mascara on the bottom. To me, I like it because I feel like it frames the eye. Again, it's what you prefer. And there you go. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you showing up, asking questions, commenting. Love to see everybody. Everybody joining in. We have some newer people on, which is always fun to see as well. So invite your friends, right? They want to learn how to airbrush, or if they have one and they are struggling with it, come to our lives. We have our lives Monday through Thursday. We have classes that you can also join at noon on Mondays and Wednesdays. We have LUMINESS Live on Facebook that you can always jump on during the day and ask your questions or see videos as well. So there you go. All right, ladies, good to see you, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.